On the third day of Pitt's Miss My True Love brought to me.
Brad Pitt in a movie that he's not really the star of.
Even remotely. No Man's Land with D.B. Sweeney, who I liked before this movie.
Yeah, I liked him in here. I like this movie quite a bit.
Oh, wow.
You didn't like it at all?
No.
I feel like this is like a combination of Thief and Heat and a little Carlito's Way and a whole bunch of Point Break.
I think if you shaved out 20 minutes and put a better actor in there, you can't have two bad actors. It can't be D.B. Sweeney and Charlie Sheen. The D.B. Sweeney character needs to be a good actor, and then Charlie Sheen will...
Johnny Depp?
No, probably not, but fucking somebody who's good. D.B. Sweeney's got that stupid face. It's like hard to believe him with that dumb fucking face.
That's very fair.
He's much better later on in The Cutting Edge, like 5 years later, when he's got not bleach blonde hair.
Wait a second. Who's checking out who here?
Listen, I don't know how many slop shots you've taken to the brain, but this was your audition. And let me assure you, it's over.
Yeah, boy, when they first introduced Charlie Sheen, I was like, nah.
Car thief?
Malcolm sent me.
I know. I'm just joking. I'm Ted Varick.
Well, I was like, thank God.
I don't like what he's doing here. It's like a real casual, calculated Donald Trump jutting chin kind of thing. I'm like, oh, God.
He's probably like 21 or 22.
Super young. He got injured while making it.
Doing what?
One of the squibs he had apparently had sat around long enough that it dried. So when it went off, it like shot shrapnel, cut him in his face. And I think he lost hearing in one of his ears for a couple of weeks or a day or two.
And needed a blood transfusion, and that is where he got infused with
Tiger blood. Yeah, we both landed there pretty quick. I like that. Yeah, man, I don't know. I don't think the title's very good. It's pretty stupid. There's plenty of mans within this land, and they're all welcome. It's from 1987. I'd never heard of this before. Written by Dick Wolf.
I know! I thought it would be way cooler.
That's where it really gives that sort of wannabe Heat, preheat, Miami Vice vibe. Because he did a lot of that Miami Vice. Directed by Peter Werner.
Dun dun!
Who, aside from this, has an extensive portfolio of TV shows and TV movies, but no other feature-length film. Which is kind of surprising, because I felt like the direction in this was fairly competent and like quite cinematic. I mean, there's money in this movie.
Yeah.
For the time. Speaking of which, the budget was an estimated $8 million. The gross U.S. and Canada was $2.8 million. Didn't really do that well. But nobody was a name in here, except for Quaid. But who's going to see a Quaid movie? And not a Dennis one.
It was interesting watching this because I was thinking, there was a point where Randy Quaid was a serious actor. People were like, yeah, Randy Quaid.
Well, he's going to have this midnight swimming party tonight. You want to run over there with me later?
I can.
He's all chin and nose, boy.
But he's always been stupid-ass National Lampoons to me.
Shitter was full!
And now, looking at him being a hard-ass, I'm like, yeah, I mean, I guess he's okay. He's not great. And boy, is he an ugly man.
I was going to say, it kind of feels like they wasted Bill Duke.
Yeah, he didn't really do.
He didn't do much at all. He was kind of just hovering around. He was the Ken Watanabe to his Christian Bale in Batman Begins. Kind of felt like he's supposed to be the top dog. But then I thought they were just going to be like, oh no, Charlie Sheen's really running the show. But it doesn't turn out that that's actually the case. Seems like Bill Duke kind of was in charge. You want to read the synopses?
No Man's Land. Lieutenant Vincent Bracey, Randy Quaid, tasks rookie Benji Taylor, D.B. Sweeney, with tracking down a cop killer by infiltrating a local car theft outfit ran by brusque cigar smoker Malcolm, Bill Duke, and suave chin model Ted Varick, Charlie Sheen. Benji soon finds that navigating reality and fiction can be a tough racket, made all the more difficult once he falls for Ted's sister, Anne, Lara Harris. But if he wants to come out on the other end with his life intact while avenging his slain compatriots, Benji will need more than a need for speed. Did you see Brad Pitt? Jules did. I didn't. I'm pretty ashamed. I missed him.
He's pretty predominantly featured.
You think so?
Yeah, and this was the role he's infamously gone on record as speculating that this really happened, where he's trying to figure out how to get a SAG card at this point, because you need to have a SAG card to get a speaking role. But you need to have had a speaking role to get a SAG card. So he's doing the bit, and you can hear it in the movie, actually, where he goes to the gal at the table that he's serving. Will there be anything else? And you can see this. She actually looks at him like disgusted that he would be talking. At which point, after the scene, apparently the director walks over and he's just like, yo, man, you do that shit again and you're off the lot, effectively.
And then when Brad Pitt got famous, he's like, never give that guy another job doing feature films.
Mm-hmm. Gave him the old suck thumb up butt.
Tell him he's in a pit stop.
Yeah. Tell him his life's going to be the pits going forward. Yeah, but so you can hear him say that, but he also could be heard laughing in No Way Out. No Man's Land, No Way Out.
Also, the guy in the wheelchair in No Way Out is his uncle in this movie.
They say he's uncredited, but he's very much credited.
The uncle?
Yeah, I see his name in the credit, and I go, what the hell? So Benji, D.B. Sweeney, is a rookie who...
The sheriff's department? Are they
I
sheriffs?
thought so, but it also just seemed like he was a meter maid, trying to be a cop. Because he goes, I am a cop. Yeah, you're a cop. The other guys say to him at the cop bar or whatever. All of a sudden, Randy Quaid comes sauntering in, and he goes, hey, you're that hot shot who did something.
That's me.
That's me, sir.
I'm going to go talk to you. So he pulls him aside and he goes,
You hear about Nick Graciola?
He's the detective that was killed last week.
Yeah.
and he goes, I hear you're a mechanic of sorts. He goes, yeah, I know Porsches and such. Good, because I need you to go undercover as a rookie, not a detective and not a member of the Vice Squad, to infiltrate this gang of car guys who only steal Porsches.
I want the guys who got him. I can't prove it. I think it's a local outfit stealing Porsches. They're operating out of a repair shop. My money's on the owner, a guy named Ted Varick.
So we need you to bring him to justice. He goes, oh, yeah, okay. They got a guy on the inside who vouches for D.B. Sweeney, whose name is now something else.
Brad?
I don't know.
Billy? Brad Pitt. Hey,
Bingo.
I was over there calling Randy Quaid ugly and you didn't back me up.
He is a ghoul.
He's really just
I'm not a ghoul. He's just an unattractive regular man.
like he's gross looking.
I don't think Dennis is like super hunky, but
I think Dennis is pretty good
he
looking.
definitely made out. He's the Arnold Schwarzenegger to his Danny DeVito
Yeah,
in
absolutely.
this scenario.
Man, that pointy nose and that receding hairline, he's like a...
Do they have different dads?
It's like a Nixon.
Or mothers?
No, man, they just kids shake out different. It's
They
weird.
do, but not like brutally ugly and massively handsome.
I think that happens kind of a lot.
Maybe. So he goes, yeah, I'm going to do it. And he goes to the garage and there, Bill Duke's like, you know about stuff? He goes, yeah, I know about stuff. And he goes, okay, you're hired.
8 to 5, and I mean 8, not 8:01. 1 hour for lunch, 14 an hour to start.
Oh, hey, I need you to go pick up Charlie Sheen. He's stranded on a very popular overlook that you've probably seen in movies before. Okay, he goes up there.
We got hot boy pickup. We need a hot boy pickup.
And he gets up there and nobody's around. The Porsche is sitting there. He starts looking in it with a flashlight and Charlie Sheen appears. Hey, man, what are you doing? Oh, you're Ted? I'm here to help you.
You here for the suck job?
Sucky. And he goes, oh, yeah, I know what your problem is. And he takes out a screwdriver and he does something in the engine.
Car's ready to go,
Perfectly
bro.
fixed now. That
Like-
one screw is loose.
Bro, you want to go driving together?
He goes, yeah, let me take this thing out for a test to make sure it's fine. And he goes, all right. And he jumps in and just wheeling around Mulholland.
It seems like there should be a weird homoerotic energy with
It
it,
feels like that's where it's going quite often.
but there's not.
No, and unfortunately.
There's a real weird incestuous thing going on later. No homoerotic.
It's there. I just don't think it's intentional.
The incestuous or the homo?
The homoerotic aspect of it.
Yeah, I don't know. There's no heat
They're
between
giddy.
those two.
They really take to each other. And I don't think they touch each other's dicks. But it's implied.
Fuck, bro, stealing these cars makes me so hard.
You ever 69, bro? Like, just as guys? And
Dude, I'm hyperventilating. Can we just kiss so I can calm down?
You had a tough day. Let me rub your shoulders. Oops, my clothes fell off. So they're tooling around Mulholland, and he's really winning over Ted Varick.
It's stressful watching them drive.
It's exciting. And they're both kind of scared. Ted more than him, and he even goes to him, were you scared? And he goes, no. And then they slyly, cast glances at each other. So he's in now, and Ted's like, hey, you ever do repo work? And he goes, no. He sees Ted at the garage with the lady, who I thought was his girl.
Yeah, obviously that's his girlfriend.
She
of
pulls
course.
off her babushka.
She's always in the car with him.
She's,
Goes to parties with him.
yeah, she's darting furtive glances that are also flirtatious towards Benji.
Like maybe there's going to be a three-way.
Like, help me, Benji, you're my only hope. And turns out it's his sister, because he does a repo job for Ted where they steal a Porsche. There's so many Porsche thefts in this movie. It's hard to keep track of which one's first. It's not the super big key ring one. I think it's a different one.
Was it the one where they first rip out the gut thing?
Yeah, because he gives it to him.
Look at this. It's a giant plug. He's like, oh, guess what? I got the special thing that starts the plug.
And like your alarm systems are a touch tone keypad or something.
You know what? Unlike some of these movies where it's like they show computers and it's like, that's not what a computer does. This one, I'm like, I think Dick Wolf put some effort into finding out how to steal these cars.
Yeah, I've seen dudes put rods and stuff.
Yeah, the rod thing.
To bust it. Later on, Charlie's got a device that's like a turnkey, but he hooks the wires up from underneath the steering column to it.
Weird plug thing.
So he can... No, the giant plug thing goes into the actual key thing, and they break it. This one, he busts the wires out and plugs it into a little box that has a turnkey. Because Benji, when he's trying to get the car that he gets busted in, he puts the thing in there. It's like a metal rod this long that he jams in there, and you're breaking the key mechanism to some extent. All sorts of cool, hip, high-tech gadgets.
Remember when they do the kick to the steering wheel? Like, you have to do that to, like, break it loose to use it?
He doesn't kick it, but he does use his foot for some reason.
Shift it. I think to turn the wheel to give it the extra muscle they need to turn it to break it out of the lock-mechanism.
Yeah, absolutely. Why he doesn't just use his extra hand?
You need the power of the leg.
You need the power of... Was he wearing Converse or British Knight? He was wearing some bullshit.
New Balance.
And so they steal a car or whatever, and he proves himself, and he's like,
Hey, Bill. Yeah, what are you doing tonight? I don't know, nothing special. Great. Look, I'm heading out with some friends to a club that I go to, and I thought you might like to come along.
Love to.
Great. Address is on there, and I'll see you, say, like 1:30 a.m.
But you don't do cocaine?
But they don't do drugs. There are guys that are doing drugs.
I can't believe that,
But they don't do drugs.
Powdering their noses.
Yeah, it used to be women only did that. And so he's at the thing, and that's when we see Brad Pitt. Twice.
Some of us see it.
Yeah.
Others do not.
I mentioned this. I only saw him because of his sister's titties.
You were looking at him?
When we first see her, he goes, oh yeah, that's blah blah. And she's wearing only a suit coat and no bra or shirt. Oh. So when she bends over, it's like dangling.
Do you see a boob?
Almost.
Because this movie's R? Mm-hmm. It's from the 80s.
Yeah.
It's not R?
No, it is. Language.
No boobs.
Violence, but no boobs.
Is it because of the F word at the end?
There is that. I think there's because he cuts his hand. There's a lot of shooting.
Is it the hand cutting? We talked about that too. Maybe that was part of the R.
He shoots the guy in the club. He's bleeding all over the wall. But yeah, I don't think there's titties in here.
No, there's not.
That's the only swearing?
I don't know. As I was quite bored watching this movie, I went from being like, you know what, this movie's not great, but it's fine,
I think there's a decent amount of swearing throughout,
to this is pretty boring. I did not like this movie.
I liked it. I was actually kind of gripped throughout. I was kind of gripping myself, but I was also gripped by it. I felt like it got a little stupid at the end. I mean, it got stupid a couple of times. Fuck, so it's his sister, and we see Brad Pitt, and he's got a mullet.
It's real bad.
It's so bad, but he looks so much better than he did in No Way Out.
I don't know.
It's confusing. Like, he doesn't look like the sun-bleached Tim Heidecker after a night at a all-you-can-eat margarita bar. He looks like Pitt, just with the fucking Bart Simpson mullet.
He does not look like he's going to grow up to be one of the biggest movie stars on the planet.
Oh, God, no. And have however many kids he has.
Oh, I'd love to ask fucking Brad about, like, what the fuck was going on back then? What were you doing while you were trying to get...
It's 1987, man. I mean, he's a white guy.
Hair? Why did you look that way in No Way Out?
That's the thing. That's why I always go back to that, and I think, God, I mean, it's him, but is it him?
Brad, what?
Because I can't find him in anything talking about that. Or Hunk. But it's clearly him and Hunk.
It's clearly him in No Way Out because he laughs.
The laugh is the only thing, but they may have added that after the fact.
But no.
Like a George Lucas kind of thing. Hey, you hear the people are saying that guy looks like Brad Pitt? Add a laugh in there.
Ha!
Perfect. So, he starts kind of flirting with the sister. She's kind of attractive, but then not all the time. But Charlie Sheen is even mentions like, oh yeah, you should hit on her or whatever. Because for some reason, they go to the dealer, the restaurant where they're valeting to steal a Porsche.
You know, DB Sweeney looks like fucking Tom Hulse and Dominic and Eugene.
Kind of. And he gives him a big key ring with like 85 black and red keys on there. It's one of these. And he actually is able to get it open. But then one of the valet guys sees him and he goes, hey, because there's a rival car ring gang that are really violent.
Okay, I love this because they mean business, kind of, right? And you're like, oh man, these guys might be dangerous. And Charlie Sheen's like, man, fuck them. And then immediately they're like, well, we'll kill you.
Yeah, because I don't know if these valet guys are a part of the operation. I think they are. They just grab a metal pipe and start chasing him.
Yeah, he's running forever.
It's
wild.
They chase him like through stuff, over stuff, up stuff, down stuff.
Okay, listen. The bad guys, right?
Yeah.
They're always there. Somehow, whenever they try to steal a car, the bad guys roll by in their car like, hey, we steal cars from here.
But also their leader is rolling with them sometimes too and shaking random nobodies down.
Is it maybe one parking lot that the bad guys run and DB Sweeney and Charlie Sheen keep trying to steal cars from that?
Well, they keep stealing them from the mall.
This is our mall.
You know, we got a deal where we put money on the wheel and steal insurance cars or something.
Grind.
They're on their grind. And I mean, it's like fun boy time, right? It's your typical, he's undercover, but he's actually not witnessing the guy he's meant to bring down do anything incredibly heinous.
No, man, he's just chill. He's a cool guy.
He's just stealing stuff, but he also comes from money.
And you know what, dude? Stealing Porsches gives me a boner. I like it.
You know, Porsches are rad. When he tries to steal one with that dopey blonde guy who may have been Chainsaw's friend.
Yeah, it is.
It's like you said, Gil! We're psychopaths!
Gary something.
Back to school?
Also
Summer school?
in O'Hara. Guest starred in an episode of O'Hara.
Oh, sure. Absolutely. I bet he did.
I said to Jenny, you know what? I actually like that blonde guy.
I kind of do too.
And she waited a beat and then she's like, why do you like him? And I explained it and then I said, thank you so much for asking me so that I could explain all that to you.
Yeah. You know it's love then.
Yeah.
True love.
Me and her or me and Gary?
You and Gary, not
summer school. Yeah.
You guys just have kids together, you know?
The guy that's not as charming as Dean Cameron in summer school, but is his partner.
Yeah. And he's supposed to be watching, and he is. It's just when the security gets there, he rightfully runs away.
Well, he's checking out chicks.
That is
so
true.
He doesn't spot them as early as he should.
Well, he sees them moments before they see him, but there's a very short period of time between when they're introduced and they see him. So it's not like, you know, he's in any more advantageous of a lookout role than you and I are watching the movie.
This guy was not in very many things.
No. He stopped and just kind of became Amish.
He's not Amish.
No.
Okay.
But the other bad guys are rolling around at this point because they smell blood in the water, I guess. The bat signal's up. So the security guards say, hey, Buster. They pull him out. They handcuff him to the car. Call the police.
They're not the cops. The security guards have handcuffs?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
So do the ones at IDS.
Really?
Even though they're not supposed to use them, they do. So he's handcuffed to the top of this car. And the one security guard tells the other one to go call it in. But then the other one also just wanders off because one of the bad guys comes up, punches Benji in the ribs. Oh, he says. And then he just pulls out a straight up box cutter and just severs the tendons on the top of his hand.
What? You say he's severing the tendons? He runs it across and blood immediately starts flying out.
Pouring out.
Black blood.
And he's wearing a bandage throughout the duration of the film.
Which is nice because usually people are healed.
And it gets progressively less bandagey. So he's taking good care of himself.
And she's like, what's that smell? You need to go to the doctor.
It's gangrenous. And so he goes, hey, you stay off our turf. And he goes, oh, shit.
This is your final warning, dude.
Mm-hmm. And he gets arrested. But, you know, Randy Quaid comes in and gets him out. God damn it. I'm not sending you in there to be a fly boy. I'm sending you in there to get Venick, killing my cop friend.
You're not one of these biker boys.
He goes, I don't know what's what anymore, man. You know, you told me to get in and I'm in, bruh. But now I'm like, you know, this point's about to break. I'm in too deep. And he goes, well, just keep it together. Bring me Venick. So he does eventually have sex with the sister, who I thought this was a nice twist. She admits that she actually thought he was a good guy and was hoping that he would rub off on Ted in more ways than sexual ways. And he goes, oh, I'm a good guy, baby. You know, when she goes back to his apartment.
Oh, yeah, and he takes off the...
God, he's such a creep.
You're dressing like Charlie Sheen now. Nah, man, I'll take this coat off and I look stupid in this button up.
But then she's trying to have a legitimate talk with him, and you can tell that she's demure and inexperienced. And he just starts undoing her dress, like brushing aside her concerns.
It's kind of hot when he starts
Oh, it's
in their middle.
Super hot.
I was like, this is way more erotic than I would have expected.
Uh-huh. And she just starts going down on him. This was weird. I'm glad I remembered this.
You just hear spitting it on the floor afterwards.
No, the sound gets really weird.
Wet?
No.
Choky?
There's the only sound effect that I could hear when she's now on him, kissing him, is a really generic squeaky bed sound effect. There's no music, there's no rustling, and there's no audio.
You can hear the neighbor's can opener going.
Can't hear anything except this fucking bed. And then, right when she's about to crown him,
What? What does that mean?
suck his weenus, there's terrible ADR where she says his name. Paul Walker. And he has a moment where he wakes, like, comes to, where I think it's supposed to be him having an existential crisis.
Yeah, because you're essentially raping her because you're having sex with her under wildly false pretense that she thinks you're somebody else.
Well, that would be the logical reaction. I think his reaction is, oh no, who am I? She's saying my fake name, but I'm Benji.
I'm so mixed up.
I'm still going to take advantage of this and have sex with her, and she doesn't know who I am. And I'm, really doing a jerk thing here. But I was wondering, like, if there was some sort of a conscious effort to mute what would be the original dialogue, which would probably be heavy breathing and maybe some pillow talk, to then be able to ADR in this thing she says, which you can barely make out. And then he has a revelation, which I think is what's supposed to be him, because there's no indication that he's a cop really for a majority of this. It kind of feels like it got away from them, just having a really cool movie.
Here, I have the original dialogue right here that they ADR'd out. No, slow down. She says, just don't come.
And then she goes, is it in yet? Serrano!
We skipped over the first time they had sex together, and he comes creeping downstairs in like a similar bathrobe as her.
No, he's wearing Charlie Sheen's bathrobe.
And she's talking to Charlie Sheen.
That's a weird scene.
It's super weird. It's more of that weird incestuous thing where like they end up they feel like a throuple. This feels like The Dreamers with Michael Pitt.
Because she's cooking breakfast. Bacon, sausage. There's like a tomato sliced in half that's got pesto maybe on it.
People like that tomato with the breakfast.
Like a full half of a tomato. It's so stupid. And so Charlie Sheen comes in, oh, sis, you shouldn't have. I'll take mine bacon crispy. And he just starts feeding.
Feeding? Why do you say it like he's a vampire?
It seems like it. And so she's just like kowtowing to him. She doesn't say, oh, this breakfast isn't for you. It's like she's an abused wife. She just allows him to do whatever. And then, DB comes out and he's got a flower in his hand.
He looks like he's going to sneak out. But he's like, what's up?
But then he puts the flowers down. And he's like,
nice robe, Chief. Can I get a mug? It's better on you than it does on me.
I'm here too.
We're in your bathroom. I've been fucking your sister all night.
And Charlie's like,
that's cool, man. I'm so glad we're all together.
You look better in my robe than me. And he's like, this feels very domestic. I like it.
She's good, right?
You guys are going to have kids, right? And he's like crazy-eyed, like staring off, trying to, I don't know. And it's very odd. And then he leaves. He goes, oh, hey, I'm going to be out in the car, get dressed and come out. And then he goes to kiss her and you can tell she's kind of like,
Charlie?
No.
DB.
Sweeney? Yeah, he tries to kiss her and she's just like, I got to get dressed, and runs away. It's like, you realize his clothes are in your rooms too, so if he's going to get dressed, he's just going to be in that room with you.
Maybe she's sick of his stupid looking face.
So him and Chuck are friends. At some point, Randy Quaid does a bust.
And he's just eating that big bowl of baked beans and he's yelling.
Well, because DB comes, because he's talking to Charlie Sheen and he goes, I know you did this thing. And he goes, you ain't got shit on me, copper. And the cop that turns out to be a bad cop is there too. Oh, these parts look stolen. You want me to do something? Yeah, whatever. And then he calls in
DB Sweeney.
I almost had his character's fake name.
Lloyd.
Dobler?
Yep.
Dominic Toretto.
I don't have friends. I got family.
Because as soon as he walks in there, he'll say anything like, come on, man, quit acting like I'm not a cop.
Yeah, he comes in, hey, Lieutenant, what the hell is this bullshit? Shut the fuck up.
Dude, any of these cops could be dirty.
Yeah, and then one of them is.
Yeah, he's probably the one that killed that guy in the beginning. I think he is, because he's wearing that overcoat.
Yep. And DB rolls up on him, or he rolls up on DB in a diner, like, don't you ever break kayfabe. And he goes, man, I don't know what's real anymore. I've just been hot dogging this whole time, and you don't really have me filling out reports or even really reporting to you on anything or being in any way accountable for my actions.
I just feel like I've been quantum leaping for so long, I don't know who I am.
Yeah, man, I'm all Paul walked out, you know?
Where's Ziggy?
And he goes, hey, man, why don't you just go see your family? Take a couple days. You taking me off the case? No, just, you know.
Don't go near Ted Varick.
For roughly 4 days. And Ferrick gave him a Porsche. He's Porscheing it around. His sister comes, does a pop-in on him. Somehow she knows where he lives. And she goes, where'd you get that Porsche? She goes, oh, this is when they had sex the second time. Because he's lying to her. Oh, it's not mine. I'm not a bad guy.
They let me drive him around.
It's a customer's car and what have you.
I drive it home.
And leave it in my shitty parking stall.
You're dressing like my brother.
Where's his car, by the way?
Does he have one?
He does.
He's got that one.
It's got like a...
It's at the police lot.
Oh, maybe. And so they have sex. He wakes up. He goes, I'm going to make you breakfast. But he leaves to go to the store. He gets like a pineapple.
Oh, yeah. He's excited about that pineapple.
Yet, when he returns,
really
it seems as if there's already food cooked. And his uncle's there. Hey, Benji.
What? That's not my name?
We just had the damnedest time trying to figure out who you were. I figured I was in the wrong apartment altogether. She's going, there's no Benji here.
Even though I know you're a police officer, I'm too stupid to just even assume that maybe you're undercover. And I'm blowing it. Much like you do to Charlie Sheen's character.
This is why I get shot and end up in a wheelchair and no way out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm stupid.
And he just ruins. He's just cock blocking the whole time. And he leaves. And she goes,
you're a fucking cop. Don't touch me.
Will you listen to me?
What could you possibly say? How could you lie to me like that?
I never lied about us.
Everything I told you was like real. And I meant it.
Everything that comes out of my mouth is a lie, but I like you.
Except this. Going forward, I'm telling you the truth. And she's pretty realistically like, I don't even know you, dude. And you've like violated me. Bye. And she flies away. So she goes to meet Chuck. The cop guy calls Chuck and he goes, hey, your boy's a cop. I need 20 grand because I'm out of this racket. Here's a piece of information.
Which guy is the cop? The dumb looking one.
The dumb blonde kid.
The one that looks like brother from Dominic and Eugene.
And he goes, oh, okay. So he goes home real quick to pack hastily. And Anne comes in like, what are you doing? He goes, I got to get out of here for a couple of days. It's all good, though. And she goes, oh, okay. Are you going to see Benji or whatever his name is?
Oh, I'm going to see him.
No, I didn't. What? Oh, I thought maybe you'd be. Oh, no. And he calls him. Hey, it's Benji or whatever.
We working tonight?
Yeah. We hooking? And he goes, you damn right.
I'm meeting up with Billy Crudup and the guy from The Sopranos.
And also
boost some cars.
That one guy from Mars Attack, Lucas Haas.
Jack Nicholson.
Who's in a movie about street walking.
Ooh, from Johns with David Arquette. Remember I sent that to you and I was like, look at this shit. And you're like, yeah, I seen that.
I lived it.
And then you're like, I lived over a video store.
Yep.
And every day I would go down there and rent 5 independent films. And I would watch them back to back to back.
That's an inaccurate statement.
And then I would go back and rent 5 more independent films and eat a bunch of meat.
You're totally wrong.
Bacon.
I bought them.
Steaks.
I didn't rent them.
And then I bought 5 more. Pretty soon I had my own video store. I named it Video Adventures.
Very good.
Yeah.
So the cat's out of the bag. He knows he's a cop. She tells him he's a cop.
That cop tries to kill.
So he goes,
Sweeney?
He goes, hey, DB, we're going to go do our thing.
Oh, is this when they get into the trouble with the bad guys?
No, that's earlier. Because they try to steal 2 Porsches back to back. And they start shooting at him.
Yeah. Mustache isn't messing around. You got box cutter slit.
Uh-huh.
And then they're just shooting. Like
so they're in a high-speed chase against a Cadillac, Eldorado, and an IROC C28.
And they drive into, like, what, a refinery or something? Some sort of dusty,
they do.
open-ended warehouse area.
First, the Cadillac smashes into a truck, a pickup.
The watermelons go everywhere.
And then they actually get him into a real big jam-up smash. And a fucking school bus flies over.
Oh, yeah, dude.
And just pancakes another car. Whoever was driving that's dead.
It was pretty funny. With
Charlie Sheen goes, and he goes, what? And DV's like, what happened? No.
Killed so many people.
Just keep going.
All these kids are dead.
But then when the IROC's chasing them, they then hit a ramp and fly through like a Pepsi truck and explode and kill several dozen orphans, some of which are on crutches, one of which is my dad. He never had me because he died in that terrible accident. And so that happened. But now he's like, hey, I'm going to go meet a dirty cop, and I got to give him some money, and I need you to be my backup.
Why don't you give it to him?
Does he give him a gun? He gives him a gun at some point, but I can't remember why. And he goes, well, you know what? Let me stick around, and I'll tail him and figure out who he is and such. And he goes, all right, here's the money. He's through there and behind a rail car. So he goes over there, and Charlie Sheen's in his car, and he's several feet away. So although we can tell clearly what they're talking about, it's hard to tell if he can, right? Because the cop goes, DB, what the hell are you doing here? Oh man, don't worry. We'll figure this one out. We'll bring them down together.
No, I gotta kill you.
Dipshit. I'm wearing a trench coat, you dumb fuck. Can't you tell I'm a bad guy? And Charlie Sheen's like, what's happening over here? And it just appears as if the cop is shaking him down. So Charlie Sheen runs him over and kills him. The cop.
He's got the gun on him. He's pointing the gun at him while he's on the ground.
I didn't say he didn't. I'm just saying.
He's just patting him down and he ran him over.
Well, no, but he does.
He's touching that package. I'm going to run him over.
Mm-hmm. He puts the gun in his mouth.
That's part of my family.
Makes him blow it. Say you're a philanderer, And he fucking blasts through his ass.
That's pretty good.
Kills him, Hey, get in the fucking car.
Get in the fucking car, Morty! Not coming with you!
Man, I knew I could trust you. But then something else happens. He goes, hey man, we'll do something tomorrow. He drops him off. And then Benji gets into his Porsche and he hauls ass over to Randy Quaid's house. Just pulls in and parks in the driveway. I thought he went back home because it seemed like the house he was outside of when he was watching his family, but I guess it's not. And he goes in and he's hollering and Randy's like, get out of here, And he goes, we're gonna get him. And he goes, all right, we're cool. When he leaves, he peels out of there like an asshole. And we see Chuck is outside scoping it out. I did not expect for him to then kill Randy Quaid.
Not at all. Randy Quaid's pretty brutally murdered. They show him and he's...
Did he shoot him through the window? Yeah, he's gnarled. You know what he did? He Ouija'd him.
I guess maybe he's the guy that killed the dude in the beginning because it seems like the same situation walking right up to the window.
It's hard to say because before this, he does kill Robert or whoever the main bad guy of the other gang is.
Oh yeah, it goes up to him in the club.
Because they kill, that's why the cops are there. They kill Bill Duke on the toilet.
The Predator.
And he goes, how come somebody saw you dragging his body out? And he goes, because he was on the shitter, man. I don't want anybody finding him like that. Dumb fuck.
Me touching his dick? I hear they get a real boner when they're dead.
The body can maintain an erection after expiration, sometimes for hours. Did he have the adult magazine when he came in?
No, I gave it to him.
And poop, if you like that. So he goes, hey, I got to go find this Robert guy. And DB's like, well, we probably shouldn't, but at the same time, okay. And he does find him, but he tells DB, hey, go check downstairs. I don't see him. And he walks over with a little 2-bullet gun. And he goes, hey, Robert. And Robert's looking at him. What? He's trying to hear him. So it's quite apparent that he doesn't even know who Ted Vanek is.
This is for Bill Duke.
And he shoots him.
Babadook.
Blasts his guts. Yeah. He falls against the wall, and there's blood everywhere, but nobody seems to notice or mind, if they do notice.
Quite a spray of blood right on the wall.
Yeah. And the girl's still dancing.
Oh, look, he's on the floor, and I'm dancing. Yeah, this is sexy, right, baby? I don't know why you're on the floor.
2-step all over his ass.
Too much of that cocaine.
Then it's just like shit's hitting the fan. He knows that his boss is dead now, and that Venek's the guy who killed him. He does find also out that Robert was killed, even though it doesn't seem to matter, and he didn't know about it at the time. So he's like, I gotta end this shit. Evil dies tonight.
Evil dies tonight!
So, fuck, man. So then he goes to meet him at the mall, same time, same place, and they're basically like, yeah, we know each other, knows each other at this point. And Chuck's like, all right, I tell you what, man, we're going to steal this car. And, no, man, pulls out his gun. I'm just going to walk away. You can't kill me. And then Chuck turns around and he pulls out his gun and they start shooting at each other. And DB gets shot in the shoulder. Chuck gets shot in the side, in the stomach, and through the cheek.
When he got blasted in the cheek, I was like, whoa, fuck. They mean business.
But then he's not dead immediately. He sits up, and he points his gun, he drops it, and he falls back, and then he's dead.
Made me think about Public Enemies when he gets blasted through the face.
Yeah, and then the movie's over. Yeah. Fennec's dead. Randy Quaid's dead. Thankfully, he doesn't win the sister back.
No bullshit, just shuts off.
Just over.
Dude, there's a great moment in this movie where, like, they're looking around for a Porsche to steal. And there's, like, nicer cars.
With Surfer Guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a real nice
Oh,
car.
no, with Charlie Sheen. Yeah, it was
calls the cool car trash or whatever.
I think it was a Lamborghini Testarossa.
And then they spot a Porsche, and it looks like shit.
It's probably a Lamborghini Gallardo. Yeah,
ugliest Porsche
had a
I've
huge
ever seen.
fin on the back and
Yeah,
shit.
it's just ugly.
The gray one that they steal from the mall is cool. The red one they almost steal is pretty cool. But that one is definitely not cool. I liked that they brought out the Jimmy stick and that they show them using it. And I don't know what he did when he sees the touchpad alarm system. He cuts the soft top of the Porsche, I guess just to reach in and unlock it. But it's like, well, then what's the problem with that security system? Why didn't you just use the Jimmy stick?
Well, probably it's keyed into the door. Like, they don't expect you to come in through the soft roof. There's no sensors
And just raise the lock? I mean, in any event, the lock's being disengaged. Maybe, I don't know.
Maybe you should be a car detective.
I should.
In the 80s.
They should call me Carl Lumbo.
That's pretty good.
Or Perry
Mason.
Perry Maserati.
Carlock.
Ooh. What's his first name? Sherlock Holmes? Oh, Sherlock Holmes. And I guess the movie's over, man. And in hindsight, it's a lot less cool when I think about it. But I was really enjoying it when I was watching it. I had almost like a nervous, heart-pounding sensation several times when they're racing and stealing shit, and he's being chased by those valet guys. I'm like, man, this is serious. They might fucking decimate him. And although it was supposed to be some sort of a well-oiled car ring, it really didn't also feel like that. Like Charlie Sheen's just rolling with him.
Doing it for fun.
Yeah, like he's rich. And
hey, mechanic, no, you steal cars.
Because then they just chop the cars down, but then they build them back up. It's completely clean.
With fresh VIN numbers.
Yeah, and titles and shit. I don't know, man. What do you give this movie?
Well, I would like to say, I started drinking hard right away at the beginning of this movie.
Okay, I was smoking a lot of dope.
My son would not go to sleep, and he just kept coming down here.
The young one?
No, the older one, Jack. He just kept appearing.
You ever think about just strapping them?
Strapping them to the bed?
Yeah.
I don't think that's legal. So I was in a bad mood. I had already lost my Saturday night because Jetty invited people to stay over. So I just went to bed at 9. Because I was like, well, I don't want to deal with the people when they come over to go to sleep.
Multiple people?
It is her friend Susie and her 3 kids.
And her mom?
No, her mom just showed up today.
Oh, out of the blue?
No, it was a plan.
Oh.
That's cool, but Susie and 3 children.
Yeah, Susie and the Banshees.
Yeah. So that was where Saturday went. Sunday was clearly going to be squandered too. Jack's been real difficult lately. So I started drinking hard. And I thought this movie was all right. It is too samey. There's not enough, change up. It needs to be tighter.
The music's fine, though, right?
Yeah, I mean, it is relatively cool. It's detailed in the car boosting. Mm-hmm. It's got, a realistic feel like that. Like, somebody investigated it, gave it some nice...
The few things that I liked about Grind, is the car theft nature of it and what they do with it and how it works and shit. Yeah. So you're really taking what do they say? You go around your elbow to get your wrist here?
Yeah, I just want to say I feel like they should have cut some out of this movie, but I feel like that would have made me like it a lot more.
Yeah, the ending was unfortunate. Took a little long to get there after the cat's out of the bag.
Yeah, weirdly long. I liked it when he blasted him, though.
Yeah, it kind of feels like it should have been a Heat thing where he's leaving and they do a catch-up.
I thought he was going to straight up smoke him when he was walking away. I'd be like, that'd be a real dirty move.
Wouldn't it?
He just fucking
shoots him right through his butthole and it comes out of his urethra.
Oh, fuck.
I can't tell if I'm coming or going.
I mean, I would give it it probably deserves a 6, I guess. I mean, my instincts are to just give it a 5, but it's not
okay.
5.
I'm going to give it a 7.
6. Okay, it's a 6.
I'm going to give it a 7 because I'll never watch it again to verify whether or not it was a fluke that I was enjoying it.
And you love D.B. Sweeney?
No. And I'm struggling to think of what he's in.
I could tell you the 2 things I know him from.
Okay.
The Cutting Edge.
I don't think I know or saw that.
It's the hockey player and the
skater. Okay.
They team up together.
Yeah.
And then also a show on Fox that ran 1 season that I really liked called Strange Luck.
People say I'm lucky. Things happen to me. Lucky things. Good, bad, doesn't matter.
They tried to do some luck shit for a little while there.
It's pretty good. Well, this one's from 98 or something, 97.
Right. When was Millennium from? Wasn't that Luck? Oh, the first episode was Luck.
It was probably a couple years.
It was a luck case, but the show wasn't about luck.
So my whole D.B. Sweeney liking is from those 2.
Cool. I know I've seen him in shit. Probably between being young and where he's at now, like not specifically this, but like an Ernest movie or something, where he's like a garbage man who's got a brain defect.
Dominic and Eugene, a story of brotherly love.
I see what you did there.
He's not great in here, but he's not terrible. He's no worse than Keanu Reeves in Point Break.
He's fine. It's just that bleach blonde hair and that face just makes me think he's not very good. I feel like they should have gotten somebody a little more seasoned. I don't know. Brad Pitt, 12 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
He's a 12 spot. Yep. With his mullet. Yeah, I don't know. You say 6, I say 5. You give Brad Pitt, I give him a 12.
I said a 7. Did I say a 7 for the movie?
12.
12 for Pitt, of course. Thought I said
say 7. I said 6. Did I say 5 for everybody?
You said 5.
6.
Cool.
6 and 7.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Tomorrow, everything else means less than 0.
Okay, is that a song?
Yeah, it's an Elvis Costello song.
I've never heard of that guy.
Based on the Bret Easton Ellis novel.
Oh, good.
But it is not at all based on the Bret Easton Ellis novel.
None of them are.
They took the name, and it's about cocaine.
Same thing with that other one with Dawson.
I love that movie. That movie's the same as the book. What are you talking about?
No, it's completely different than
the book. Are you talking about Rules of Attraction?
Yeah.
It is not completely different.
I don't know. I've never read it.
I've read the book. I love the book. I love the movie.
I don't like books.
No, he throws them at the wall.
They suck. Yeah, my wall's peppered with book.
Have you seen Less Than Zero?
Yeah, when I was a kid.
I like Less Than Zero.
I was like, I don't understand any of this shit.
I bet I do not like it now. I do remember James Spader being really sexually scary as Rip. Is that his name? Rip the Pimp.
Rip Torn?
Rip, Robert Downey Jr.'s pimp in the movie because he's got to get more cocaine.
Boy, I don't know what this movie's about.
Wow, cocaine. All right, we'll see you tomorrow with Less Than Zero.
On?
We doing Filmographies, 30 Days of Pitt. Find us on Instagram, Reddit, YouTube.
I wasn't going to, I was just going to go with the name of the show. But
Filmographies.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, if you want to do all that stuff, you can.
No, we don't have to. You guys like this 30 Days of Pitt? Why don't you call that stupid fucking phone number, email us.
Call your fucking mother. Tell her you love her. Shit.
Then tell her to call the hotline and say something about Brad Pitt.
Go to your nearest truck stop and scroll the hotline number in the ladies' stall for us. That'll get some calls.
Right. Lot lizards looking for help, a better life.
For a good time. And to hear guys talk about movies.
635
763-634-1897 1-900 Got Hunks.
Oh, that's good. I think it'd be Got Hunk.
Yeah. With an apostrophe.
I guess you can add extra numbers if you want.
Who cares?
Still dial those first ones.
Yeah.
All right. Bye.
We Doing Filmographies is proud to be a part of the Now Playing Network. Find other great podcasts at nowplayingnetwork.net.